Okay, thank you. So we'll start with ARS mains preparation, and then we'll next go on to preparation for Viva. Okay, so you must have already completed ARS net. ARS net is a preliminary examination. It's also called ARS net, as it is a qualifying examination for assistant professors of SCUs. And here you can skip some of the questions because there is negative marking, and also it's easier than because it's only a simple memorizing things, and then you need to answer by filling up the OCR sheet. That's the simple one. But coming to ARS mains examination, it's an altogether a different ball game, and it's a it's little tough. It's little tough, and it's not so easy to get through, and it requires different learning strategies, and then even different practices also, unlike what we did in ARS net examination. Here you need to answer all the questions, so there is no negative marking, and then so you should not miss any any questions to get full marks. So before I go to this, let me introduce myself. I am DUM Rao. My full name is Dometi Umamaheshwar Rao, and I retired from IRA, and my teachers were from late Dr. Professor Y.P. Singh, Dr. V.P. Sinha, late Dr. V.P. Sinha, Dr. P.N. Mathur, and late Dr. S.N. Singh, Dr. K.N. Singh, and Dr. S. Mule, Dr. A.P. Singh, and late Dr. Anita Jamtani, and Dr. Ratna Tiwari Pant, Dr. T.R. Rao, B.P. Kale, and others. And then my senior mentors, who are my senior students, were Dr. Kondasamy from Tamil Nadu, Dr. R. Vijayaraghavan, Dr. J. Vasant Kumar, Dr. Anuradha, Rakesh Jha, and Mr. Rajamani, Dr. G.K. Sawant sir, and P.N. Sandhya, my colleague, and then also my buddy in preparing for my ARS examination, and others. And before I start my session, let me introduce the why I'm taking up this session. I was a school topper in my 10th standard at St. Xavier's in Eluru. I got admission in ICAR-IARI through personal interview only in 1981. And there was no examination of GRF or something like that, but only personal interview was there. I was selected as there was only one seat in MSc in Agriculture Extension then. Then I got through ICAR Junior Fellowship, Junior Research Fellowship examination, which is a examination of 2 papers of 3 hours each, and then it's like writing long answers of like 20 minutes per each answer. I got through it in 1981, and then I got ICAR Junior Research Fellowship during my MSc. And then I gained top among 6 students for PhD. And then I topped ARS also in 1984 from among the 17 accredited, 17 selected candidates. And Dr. Sanjay Shinai was also there in the list, and Dr. Kokate was also there in the list at different positions. I was the topper. So I never attended any ARS net examination because that was not there. And this ARS examination that I wrote was also a long paper of two papers of 3 hours each, and carrying 600 marks, and then I got around 71%. And then interview marks are separate again. So maybe you may be thinking that I'm coming from a bygone era where I did not know anything about ARS net or something like that. But over the years, I have been going through the session and then going through the process. Now it's a three-stage process. ARS net is a first time. It's a objective type and MCQ type of questions will be there. And then in the ARS mains, it's a successful candidates will appear for the mains examination, which is a pen and paper written examination. And there is only one paper now in this. Earlier it was two papers. Now there is only one paper. One paper means there is only one question paper of 3 hours duration. And then the shortlisted candidates who passed the ARS mains examination will be called for personal interview at the HRB, New Delhi. And then in the ratio of 1:5 or 1:10 candidates, depending upon the number of people who successfully completed mains examination. And then here it should not be considered, like calling for interview should not be seen as a guarantee for selection. So, and then I need to tell you here, the selection process is thoroughly and purely on merit. And this is a tough process that goes on. Coming to the selection process, let me see the examination pattern. So first thing is you need to follow what's called an organized and systematic approach. First, let me see how the examination pattern is like. Then we'll see how the syllabus is like. Then we'll find out strategies for preparation and what can be done later. So first, coming to understanding the examination. So there are 3 parts in this examination. First part contains around 40 questions, and then the marks are around 80 marks because 2 marks per each question. And then here I feel that the time allotment to be allotted is only 40 minutes. That means one question for each 1 minute for each question. And here the questions will be of short or maybe objective type questions or maybe fill up the blanks or one word answers. So you can write it in 1 minute easily. And then second part is the part B, contains 20 questions. And then here the marks allotted are 5 marks. And then here the total marks will be for 100 marks. Here I'm allotting 80 minutes for this section. That means within 4 minutes, you have to complete the each answering each question. And then part C contains 6 questions and 10 marks each. And then here I'm giving 60 marks and then 60 minutes. Here we can also give around 48 to 50 minutes also, so that 10 minutes can be spared for covering up any gaps that you have missed, so that you can write it in 8 minutes also. And then coming to again explaining this further, understanding the written examination is very crucial here because we need to understand the type of questions, the length of the answers to be marked given, and then the amount of space given for writing the examination. And in part A, the 40 questions should be answered within 40 minutes because there are only usually one word answers or maybe fill up the blanks and very small answers. And then part B, one A4 sheet full size is given there. One page of A4 sheet. So you need to fill it up within 4 minutes. And so for that, you need to do a lot of practice writing faster and writing legibly, and also recalling the answers and then writing coherently. And so here you need to practice this answering in, like you need not completely fill up the whole A4 sheet. If the answer is short, you can complete it in answer small also. Then part C contains 6 marks, 6 questions, and then 10 marks each. Here you can give 8 minutes to 10 minutes, depending upon how fast you can write. Here the space given is 2 A4 size pages. That is on A4 size sheet, 2 pages of A4 size sheet papers will be given. That is the space allotted here. In the last examination has given, of course, this information was given, shared by one of my students, Sudeep Agarwal, Sudeep Burai, and then that was what he shared with me in the last examination. So you have 2 A4 sheets, 2 pages of A4 sheet, or 1 page of A4 sheet, which you need to fill it up within that 4 minutes or 8 to 10 minutes. So if you are able to understand this examination pattern, you'll prepare accordingly. Then understanding the syllabus. Here you need to review the syllabus completely and the various topics, and then various units. So here, analyze the examination pattern, and then type of questions, and then weightage given for, and then possible time allotted for each question, each answer. So note down the sources of information and textbooks for each of the topics and for each of the unit, and then the source that you have, and then you can start at the like you can start compiling all your resources at first. So for this, you need to visit libraries, scan through the books for each topic, and then note down page numbers, chapters numbers, and then you can use contents pages and then index pages to search for the topics. And this is a very simple process, and then you need to do it thoroughly. So this is what visiting library is very important. So procure relevant material for all topics first. You need to have material for all the topics first. For that, I would also suggest that you need to read all the ICAR handbooks. Is it ICAR Handbook of Agriculture, ICAR Handbook of Agriculture Extension, or any other books of different disciplines which are published by ICAR, because they examiners and then the paper setters and then the people who will be checking the answer sheets will be actually using this as the primary material for getting the information. And then so you need to read ICAR handbooks first, and then once you have collected, you need to make a table like this, like for each unit and the topic, and then you need to mention the source from which the resources you got, either the book or chapter or article, and then the page numbers and all that you need to mention. So if you have these topics, this particular sheet table completely filled for all the topics of all the units, then you may be seeing that some of the topics may be missing. So you can go again to libraries and then consult seniors, teachers, and get the information. So visiting library is first very important. And then one thing you need to understand is that you need to get all the materials for and then all the topics thoroughly. And so getting information and getting books is important. And then here you need to get good books, and then do not limit yourself to Google searches. Google searches may mislead you sometimes. It's not sufficient. And then if you are again going through Google only, then go for scholarly articles and then PDFs, and especially published by World Bank or FAO or UNDP or USDA or some other international organizations, or reference manuals of FAO on agriculture extension, or maybe reference manuals for different subjects. So personally, I feel that I prefer books written by foreign authors. And then for my agriculture extension, I come from agriculture extension subject. So I consulted more books written by English authors, American authors, and German authors. And then I find them interesting and logical and easy to read. Since I was educated in English medium, so I find them easy. So maybe some of you may consult other books also, but then first evaluate whether the book is really good. And then many people must have written many books, but then lot of mistakes may be there in the books. You need to be careful so that you don't write wrong answers in the examination. Okay. Then once you procure all the informations, so procuring is very important. A thorough study of the syllabus is the right step to start with, and then you start your preparation. And ideally, the topics, identify the topics and then the subject sources, and then put them in a big chart that I showed you already, and then make a good list of books, list of good books, and then allocate time for each topic and then each unit, and then as per the need, and then give more time for the tough topics and less time for the easy topics. And then as soon as you decide, and then start preparing, as soon as you decide for the writing examination, start preparing early, and then don't wait for collecting all the materials at the same time. Start preparing with whatever books you have available at your hand, uh, at least on the selected topics. And then be it any subject, either agriculture extension, agronomy, or anything else. And then do not limit, do not wait for collecting all the resources first. So do not waste your time, and then start ahead of the time. And then prepare, collecting the syllabus and reviewing the syllabus is very important, because in the agronomy, what happened in the last few years, agronomy syllabus has completely changed over a period of 2-3 years. Every year it was changed by including agrimeteorology first, and then later on the focus was completely on agrimeteorology. And so this has affected agronomy students thoroughly, who could not prepare well, because the syllabus was changing every year. That happened in the last maybe around 5-6 years back, continuously for 3-4 years. So you need to be like, whenever the new syllabus syllabus comes, you see whether new topics have been there, and then collect the material. And then since I was writing my ICAR-GRF examination, so I have all the materials for the two papers. So for me, it was like easy. And then during my MSc also, I was collecting from the libraries. I used to sit in the library and collect my notes. So then second part that you need to do is make a timetable and follow it. So you need to make a timetable and then fix a time for studying, for writing notes, either in the library or at home, and then for going to the library in search of material, and then for consulting teachers, for seeking guidance from seniors, and then for preparing and for practicing writing answers in a specified time and in a specified space. Here I was telling you that one page space for 5 marks question, and then 4 minutes allotted for that. So you need to practice this. And then for two A4 size pages, so for 8 to 10 minutes time, and then you need to practice this thoroughly for each of these questions. And then of course, making the timetable is easy, but difficult to follow. Make sure that you follow it properly and your own time, and then take timetable rigorously and religiously. So see, since you have made it yourself, you can of course change it as the time permits, as the time demands, and then but then you need to follow it thoroughly, and then focus on preparation. Do not try to mug up and memorize, get by heart, or getting by heart blindly, and then so you'll be, if you do so, you'll be remembering only for a short period of time. But then if you prepare, instead you read thoroughly to understand the concepts well, and then develop the develop a conceptual understanding. And then once you develop good understanding of the concepts, you can write it in your own small words, small notebook in your own words. So writing your writing notes in your own words will help you, because that's how you practice thinking and then practice recalling and then writing in your own words. If you are doing it thoroughly, then it's good. But that is the key actually. And then once the concept is clear in your head, you can remember it for the concept for a long period of time. And then if you know the subjects thoroughly, you can handle any questions comfortably, any related questions comfortably. And then while studying, prepare your own notes, short notes in a notebook. This will help you revise in a short period of time. So use time judiciously. Do not study for long hours at a stretch, but take breaks to relax and rest. And then organizing yourself is very important. And then self-discipline is the key to success. And then set your goals, short-term goals as well as long-term goals, with respect to the units as well as the topics to be covered. And with respect to the long answers to be prepared or short answers. And then set goals on time as well as on the amount of subject to be covered, to be studied, and in a specific amount of time. And then keep more time for tough topics and less time for easy topics. And then set aside some time for revision. Also set aside for some time for practice writing daily. The daily practice writing is very important. Why? I'll tell you towards the end. So make your own notes, and then as you make your own notes, you understand, grasp its meaning. So that will you'll be little slow to read and then slow to write. In this process, you'll be grasping the meaning and then understanding the words, understanding the keywords also. And then you can make your own notes from the nowadays it's available on cell phones also, smartphones. And then making your notes will help you help you faster. And then writing in your own words, make them learning your own, and then permanent. Here, though, making notes is very important, because that's how you actually slowly understand, read, study, and move on. So here, one more thing I need to mention here is one professor in Hyderabad Professor Muttai Garu used to tell that we like bovine population. Here, normally what happens is cows, they ruminate. What they do is they graze. When they once they go to the grassland, they hurriedly graze on the grass, and then after some time they sit down somewhere, relax, and then they start chewing the cud. That is, they bring back the food into their mouth and then slowly start chewing it again so that it digests very well. And then Professor Muttai Garu used to tell that be like cows and oxes, so that when it's not just sufficient that you attend classes and then read something, you go back and then ruminate. Of course, the ruminate word also has a meaning that is to think deeply and then deeply and carefully about something. So ruminating is one thing that's required, and this is what actually happens when you are writing your own notes also. It's not that you are only just reading and reading and then trying to mug it up. But then when you write notes, you will not be mugging it up, but then it will be easier to understand and then do it. So writing notes is very important. So writing your own notes in your own words after studying and then understanding and thoroughly, and then is the best way to learn. This way of writing will help you write well in your examinations also, your answers in the examination hall also. So that is, you will be ultimately you'll be writing what you will be doing in the examination hall is you will be writing continuously for 3 hours, and then of course breathing in between, but continuously writing for 3 hours is what is actually required in the examination hall. So that is the final what's called the final stage of the winning the gold medal in a race. So 3 hours time is what is required there. So for that you need to continuously keep on writing notes, and then this is true for all the subjects. And then of course I came from a time when there were no computers, no smartphones, and then no Googles. We relied only on textbooks and then libraries. We used to sit in the libraries and write our notes. And then I used to write a lot of notes from Encyclopedia Britannica, especially sociological terms, and then psychology terms, or maybe some other science encyclopedia, because they're written in a very simple manner. So writing is what actually made me succeed in my examinations. And then remember, you are studying for your career. When you study, mind that you are studying for learning a subject thoroughly, and then never study for examinations only. When you get by heart today and then vomit it in the examination hall, that's what we have been doing in the semester examinations, where every semester you have new courses, and then at the end of the semester you completely forget about it, and then when you enter for the examination the next semester, we'll have new courses, and then you'll be reading for the midterms and then the final examinations, and then afterwards you forget. But here, since you are going for a career in science and then career for a particular discipline, so you need to thoroughly read for learning and understanding it for life. Understanding that life is not mugging up and vomiting on an answer sheet. So examination focused study will do you no good. So study a subject in depth to understand it, and then never forget what you studied. Because it's not that you studied only for the ARS net examination, you are studying for only for ARS mains. You will continuously remember it till the final interview is over. And even afterwards also, because you'll be joining a job and then doing the research, teaching somewhere. So this conceptual understanding and basic fundamental concepts, basic understanding is always required. So you are learning for your career and then learning for remembering for a life. So learned knowledge will not go waste, and then can be used anywhere else also. Even if you don't get ARS, get through ARS examination, you can get through other examinations, and then maybe you can still use that knowledge elsewhere. And then try and to study combined, try for a combined study, as a group study or combined study, and then you share your notes with close friends, exchange notes and views, and then engage in group discussion. If you engage in group discussion, you'll be able to
What happened?
Sorry for interruption. Unmute first.
Sir,